lives. Today we're going to resume our study of the book of Acts where we left off in June. I think it was June the 5th was the last time that Rick preached on Acts 21. He preached on the first chapter of the first part of chapter 21. And today I'm going to start at verse 17. On Paul's third missionary trip, he visited the churches he had planted in western Turkey, Macedonia, and Greece. And at each church, he encouraged the believers to take up an offering for the church in Jerusalem because they were experiencing a terrible famine at that time. And even though Paul's main goal was to go to Rome, and then from Rome, he wanted to go on to Spain to preach the gospel. Nevertheless, he diverted from that goal to go to Jerusalem to personally give the offerings that the churches had collected for the church in Jerusalem. And he also wanted to report on the things that God had been doing through his ministry. And as you may recall, he was accompanied by Gentile believers from many of those churches, all the way back to Jerusalem. Paul's first trip to Jerusalem after his conversion is described in Galatians 1:18-24 and also in Acts 9. On that trip, Paul was introduced to the apostles Peter and James by Barnabas, and he did some preaching in their presence. The second trip is mentioned in Acts 11:28, in which Paul and Barnabas carried the first relief funds to Jerusalem from Antioch in Syria. And then the third trip is described in Galatians chapter 2, verses 1-10, and in Acts 15. This is what has become known as